It's time for Next Step Monday as we look back on this past Sunday's sermon and jumpstart our week with a few thoughts. Here's Pastor Dave Pack.
It's good to be with you, Fremont family, on this Next Step Mondays. We look back to Mark 14, 66 through 72. The big idea we saw was this. The bitterness of Peter's denials gives way to the sweetness of his repentance. Okay, Christianity 101, when Jesus says something, believe it. So back in earlier in chapter 14, Jesus told Peter, along with the rest, you're going to deny me. Peter was confident. He was stronger than the rest. And now we're seeing his overconfidence come back, and, it's exposing his pride. Now, up to this point, he hadn't indeed, denied Jesus in the sense that he does here. But, oftentimes in life, we have weaknesses or we have sins that lie dormant beneath the surface that they just have yet to be exposed. And here, the Lord in his kindness to Peter actually exposes it. And remember, keep in mind the context. Well, Peter has this informal trial below in the courtyard. Jesus is having an actual trial, a formal trial above. And what we learn from Peter as he denies Jesus, he won't even say Jesus' name, is that many times the things that reveal a faithful witness in life, they just take things in the ordinary aspects of life. Do we try to hide the fact that, we were at church? Do we try to cover up our Bible? Are we ashamed of Jesus? Now, towards the end of this account, in the parallel passage in Luke, we actually learn in Luke 22 that after the third denial and the rooster crows, Jesus locks eyes with Peter. Sometimes our eyes can convey sentiments that our lips can't. And the beautiful thing is, we know Jesus, he didn't give Peter the eye of condemnation, but it was an eye of compassion. And it led to Peter breaking down. It's interesting. Peter wasn't perfect, but Peter wasn't the only disciple that failed. I mean, they all failed, but just think of Peter and Judas. They both denied Christ, but there's a significant difference. You see, Judas felt sorry for himself. He was sorry he got caught, and he fell into self-pity, and that drew him away from Jesus, whereas Peter was genuinely sorry that he sinned against his Lord, and he repented, and that drew him in. We want to ask ourselves, are we more sorry over the consequences of sin that we got caught, or are we sorry because we grieved the Lord? When it's a godly sorrow, that leads to change. And then finally in John 21, this beautiful scene where Jesus restores Peter. 3 times he asks him, does he love him, to really correspond with the 3 denials. But he restores Peter. He essentially says to Peter, yeah, you blew it. You're a big failure. But guess what? My grace is bigger than your failures. So I think a good question to ask ourselves is this. Where are we struggling to receive the grace from Jesus? Where are we struggling to receive his restorative grace and power in our lives? I'll be praying for us as we consider that question this week.